Welcome to the first episode of 3SSR Footy Hits. I'm the radio vice president Peter Teros, and today I have with me
John Donahoe.
That's right, we're going to be talking about football here, right? Because there was a big round that just happened in round 6.
Absolutely, there was. Got started on Friday night when my mob, the Saints, unfortunately went down to Collingwood, and it was a gutsy performance, but Collingwood were too strong in the end, so wasn't happy with that one. But yeah,
it was kind of sad to say because Collingwood had a lot of players out. They obviously had Ball, Fasolo. That's it. Shut up. They had Fasolo. Who else they had? They had Ben Hudson out too. They had Tuvey.
Yeah.
They had a lot of outs.
Ball.
Not Cracker. They got Didak. Sorry, Didak. Yeah. So they had a lot of outs at the moment, and they still did quite well. You're going to hand it to them. Now, how about Richmond and Geelong?
Yeah,
Saturday night.
Didn't see much of the game, but what I did see was Geelong.
I didn't. I almost cried because I'm a Tiger supporter.
Well, no, I was out and about on Saturday night, but I did see Geelong pull away a fair bit. So, look, they're a great side and sets up a mouth-watering clash now on Friday night between Geelong and Essendon, top of the table clash. So,
both unbeaten.
Yeah, both unbeaten, so it'll be an interesting game. But yeah, look, Richmond gone from 3-0 to 3-3 now, so there might be a few question marks over the Tigers.
Yeah, well, what I've noticed is they've kind of died off in the second half. In every game, even the ones that they've won, their second half haven't been as good as their first half. So, is it a fitness thing?
Don't know. It might just be their mentality, and they might just they're not used to winning games over the last few years. They haven't been doing that well, and
the last 30 years they haven't really been doing that.
The last 30 years, and as you saw against Freo, they came back hard and then dropped away again with
a minute and 20 seconds left.
Within the last 5 minutes they were pretty poor, and yeah, so look, they need to rebuild and get up for next week's game against Port Adelaide, which will be another big one because Port are in great form. So
that's right. They did lose to North Melbourne though, so that's a positive for us.
By only 10 points though, down there. So look, they're coming along very nicely as well.
Essendon and GWS. GWS dominated that first half. They actually almost took the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Essendon was just coasting or having a laugh with them or what, but they probably didn't expect GWS to come out that hard. So, look, credit where credit's due. GWS showed a fair bit, and Jeremy Cameron kicking 6 was a very good effort for the Giants, and they'll test a few teams this year. But the Bombers probably were a bit frightened there at one stage.
I reckon it just shows the talent. The talent of the GWS young players. This is what they're capable of doing. Now they're just going to string it together for 4 quarters. Absolutely.
Well, when you got Jeremy Cameron, Tom Scully, Reece Palmer, a little bloke called Taylor Adams, who's a pretty good footballer, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in a few years. When they get bigger bodies in, and when Patton comes back, and they get all their stuff together, they'll be a really good side.
North Melbourne and Port Adelaide we mentioned earlier. How do you think those two clubs... Now, obviously, North Melbourne, they've been kind of ordinary. Port Adelaide, they've been quite strong. Do you think the reason they lost was because, Ken Hickley wasn't even there? He was sick, so didn't make the journey.
No, I think North were just keener. North have had a fair bit of scrutiny on them in the last few weeks, and, they needed to get a few wins on the board, and good start here, and were very close against the Hawks a few weeks ago. And needed to get a bit of pride back in the club, and look, credit to Port as well. They fought on. I didn't see any of the game. I was playing footy myself, but heard it was an absolute cracker. And look, North I think will test a few sides this year. They're a good team, and they'll have a crack in finals as well. I think so.
Well, Brent Harvey comes back this week, so that's a big positive.
That's a big in after missing 6 weeks for being suspended last year. So yeah, they'll only get stronger as the year goes on.
Gold Coast and Fremantle.
Yeah, I think everyone expected Gold Coast to come out and blitz Freo.
I got the tip right.
Yeah, same. No Fife, no Pavlich, no Sandilands, and no one gives Freo all that much credit. But they went out there and got the job done, put them away pretty easily. And Gary Ablett was pretty good though at the same time for Gold Coast.
When isn't he?
They said during the week he's probably untaggable, but Ryan Crowley did a pretty good job on it.
Sydney and Brisbane, that was never close.
I was actually at a VFL game, watching a VFL game, and I was checking the score, and halfway through the first quarter it was 40-0. 40-0. So
Ridiculous.
I didn't give Brisbane any hope after that. But look, I don't know where Brisbane are at. Not sure where Brisbane are at.
They won the NAB Cup.
Yeah.
They won the NAB Cup, and everyone thought, "Oh, this team's really improved." They really haven't.
But as you've seen over the last few years, how many NAB Cup teams have gone on to play finals? Geelong are probably the only one who have gone on to win the NAB Cup. And
St Kilda and Adelaide did it, but
didn't do very well, did they? But yeah, NAB Cup form is obviously not that important anymore. So look, Brisbane need to get back to their winning ways, and it'll only come with a bit of hard work.
Carlton and Melbourne. That was
Carlton and Melbourne.
No, that was a little embarrassing for supporters.
Probably I was probably the least interested in this game for the whole.
I watched it
of the whole round. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it, but had no interest in it. Melbourne are a poor football side at the moment. You know they'll get better over time, but they're hard to watch. They're hard to watch at the moment. But Carlton are moving along nicely, and big clash next Monday night against St Kilda, and hopefully they're not as good next Monday night against my mob. But yeah.
And then the last game of the round, which was West Coast and the Bulldogs. Yeah. West Coast is starting to come back.
Yeah, geez, 3 blowouts on the Sunday afternoon, wasn't there?
Yeah, there were just
50 plus points in all the games. So yeah, West Coast are Nick Nat-Nui's back now, and they got Sherrod Wellingham back as well. So they're going to be really strong in the coming weeks. And they started slow with a 1-4 start, but I think they're going to kick soon and hit the finals. They'll make it to the finals. Barring injury, they'll get to the finals, and they'll have a real crack in September.
Well, hopefully they do. Anyway, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining me.
No worries, Pete. Thanks, mate.
And we'll be back next